Hello everyone, myself Akshay Patil from PD Turakhia Junior College of Commerce. Today we are going to learn about a very famous poem of Edgar Guest, Have You Earned Your Tomorrow? Now let's see some information about the poet. Edgar Guest is an American writer of British origin known for his simplistic style and optimistic writings about everyday life. Starting his career with the Detroit Free Press as a young reporter, he eventually started writing verses for the newspaper and earned a weekly column after his rhymes became widely popular. He then went on to publish his books Home Rhymes, Just Glad Things, and It Takes a Heap of Living, which was his most popular collection. His idea of taking routine things and creating rhymes out of them make him one of the most popular and simplistic poets in American history. Alright, so first stanza here is anybody happier because you passed his way? Does anyone remember that you spoke to him today? This day is almost over and its toiling time is through. Is there anyone to utter now a kindly word of you? The speaker begins with a direct question. He asks if today you, referring to the reader, made anyone's day better. He speaks abstractly about a him the reader might have met and helped made happier. He then questions the reader whether you were nice enough in your interactions with others for them to you. These two questions emphasize on the voluntary kindness of the reader. The third line states the fact the hours are running out for the reader to make a positive impact. Since the day is coming to an end, the speaker asserts this by asking whether the reader's actions during the day were nice enough to make someone to say something kind about the reader. Now students, in the second stanza, the speaker again is asking some questions. Did you give a cheerful greeting to the friend who came along, or a churlish sort of howdy and then vanish in the throng? Were you selfish, pure, and simple as you rushed along the way, or is someone mighty grateful for a deed you did today? The second stanza begins with another question in which the speaker asks if any time during the day you greeted a friend cheerfully. The speaker is concerned with how you treat those known to you. In the next lines, he drifts to the opposite and prods the reader on his or her own selfish tendencies. The speaker inquires whether you were churlish or rude before you quickly disappeared into the crowd. He asks whether you quickly disappeared into the crowd. He asks whether you were nothing but selfish as you rushed off to another task. It is clear that the speaker finds it distasteful to treat a friend this way. He hopes for the opposite response when he goes on to ask whether you stopped to help someone or hear someone out, which made them feel grateful for the deed done by you. Now students, we can see here third stanza. Here also the poet is asking some questions. Can you say tonight in parting with the days that sleeping fast that you helped a single brother of the many that you passed? Is a single heart rejoicing over what you did or said? Does a man whose hopes were fading now with courage look ahead? The third stanza presents a longer question that seeks a response whether the reader has helped a single brother. It is enough for the speaker if you were kind to even one person out of the many that you met or came across. In the second half of the third stanza, the speaker, if there is one single heart that is now rejoicing due to your actions. The poet also wants to know whether you have instilled courage in someone who was losing hope. Any of these good acts, this would be enough for you to be at peace with yourself as the day comes to an end. Now students, we can see here last stanza. Did you waste the day or lose it? Was it well or sorely spent? Did you leave a trail of kindness or a scar of discontent? As you close your eyes in slumber, do you think that God would say you have earned one more day by the work you did today? In the fourth stanza, the speaker states that any day not spent, at least in part, improving the lives of others is lost or wasted as it is spent surely or badly. On the other hand, if it was well spent, there will be a trail of kindness, meaning that the kindness you show to others will lead them to be kind to someone else, thus creating a chain of kindness. The last lines tell the readers that if they are unsure how their day was spent, they can close their eyes in slumber. Slumber here means sleep, and think about what God would have to say to them. If after considering the response of God, a reader feels as if they have done well, then tomorrow is assured. Now, students, let's see some poetic devices, means figure of speech used in the poem. First figure of speech here is antithesis. In antithesis, opposite words or ideas are placed in the same sentence. Second figure of speech is consonants. In consonants, consonant sounds are repeated within a phrase or a sentence for poetic effect. Third figure of speech is inversion. In inversion, the correct grammatical order of a subject, verb, and object is not followed in a sentence. Fourth figure of speech is metaphor. In metaphor, there is an indirect comparison between two things. It can also be called an implied simile. And last figure of speech is personification. In personification, inanimate objects are given human qualities. Thank you.